Why do we so often miss the most important messages in our lives, even when they are spoken directly to us? The human mind is highly attuned to noise, yet utterly deaf to nuance. In modern relationships, there exists a silent, unspoken language of attraction, a subtle code of vulnerability and trust that most men completely misinterpret. When a woman feels a deep, rare sense of emotional safety around you, she will begin to communicate her desire for closeness, but she will never say it with raw, analytical bluntness. She speaks through a series of subtle psychological invitations. If you lack the presence to read between the lines, you will misinterpret her vulnerability as mere friendliness, or worse, miss it entirely. But there is one particular phrase, a seemingly playful challenge, that most men laugh off, completely unaware that it is actually a test of their deepest masculine character. By the end of this, you will understand exactly how to read these silent shifts, and more importantly, how to cultivate the profound Stoic presence that inspires them. The ancient philosopher Epictetus once observed that nature gave us one tongue but two ears, so that we might hear from others twice as much as we speak. In our modern, hyperstimulated world, we have forgotten how to listen. We listen only to reply, not to understand. We analyze the literal syntax of words while completely ignoring the emotional undercurrents beneath them. When a woman interacts with a man who possesses genuine self-mastery, she feels something rare. She feels seen, secure, and unhurried. Because she trusts his character, she begins to drop her social defenses. She initiates a shift from formal distance to intimate warmth. But because direct vulnerability is terrifying for anyone, she will test the waters first. She uses coded language, waiting to see if you have the emotional intelligence to respond with calm, grounded assurance, or if you will stumble in confusion. Consider the first major shift in her communication. It often presents itself as a simple, logical request to enter your private space. She might ask if she can see your apartment, help you cook dinner at your place, or stop by to drop something off. To the undisciplined, chaotic mind, this seems like a mere logistical convenience. But let us look deeper. Your home is your sanctuary. It is your inner temple, the physical manifestation of your mind and your habits. When she asks to step into your private domain, she is seeking a refuge from the chaotic public world. She knows that privacy breeds intimacy. She is signaling that she feels safe enough with you to leave the safety of public spaces. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When a woman suggests entering your personal sanctuary, her mind is already colored with the thought of deep connection. She has already run the mental simulation of being alone with you, and she has approved of it. If you respond to this request with nervous overexcitement or awkward hesitation, the spell is broken. A Stoic man welcomes her into his space with the same calm grace he would show to any honored guest, creating an environment of warmth where closeness can naturally unfold. Have you ever caught yourself completely missing a moment like this, only to realize its significance days later when the opportunity had already passed? This brings us to the second, more provocative signal, the playful challenge. She might look at you with a slight smile and say, "You cannot handle me." Most men react to this with immediate defensiveness. They feel their ego threatened. They begin to list their achievements, boast about their strength, or try desperately to prove their worth. In doing so, they fail the test completely. They show that their confidence is fragile, easily rattled by a simple tease. What is she actually doing here? She is testing your emotional equilibrium. She wants to see if you are a rock that stands firm against the waves or a leaf blown away by the slightest breeze. Seneca famously wrote that true greatness consists in being at once invulnerable and sensitive. When she says you cannot handle her, she is asking, are you strong enough to hold space for my intensity without losing your own center? Are you secure enough in your masculinity that you do not need to fight for it? Instead of reacting with defensive pride, the Stoic man meets her gaze with an amused, quiet confidence. He does not need to argue. His very presence, calm and unbothered, is the only answer she needs. But let us go deeper into the middle of this dynamic, where the connection transitions from playful tension to serious emotional investment. If you have made it this far, what comes next is the part almost nobody gets right. This is where the depth of your character is truly measured. She will begin to introduce topics of conversation that bypass the superficialities of daily life. She might ask you about your past, your values, or even your intimate history, perhaps asking when you were last in a relationship or what you value most in a partner. This is not casual curiosity. It is an active calibration of your emotional boundaries. She is testing whether you view physical and emotional intimacy as a cheap transaction or as something sacred and meaningful. If you respond with crude locker room humor or desperate eagerness, she will immediately retreat. She wants to see if you can discuss intimate matters with the poise of a mature adult. Epictetus taught that no great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. The intimacy she is offering is a ripening fruit. By engaging in deep, vulnerable dialogue, she is slowly weaving a thread of mutual trust. She wants to see if you can match her vulnerability with your own authentic truth. Then comes a shift in her willingness to let you guide the interaction. She might say something like, I will do whatever you want to do tonight, or I am happy just following your lead. In an era where everyone is fighting for control, this absolute surrender of initiative is a profound statement of trust. She is handing you the compass. She is observing how you exercise responsibility. A weak man, terrified of making a mistake, will throw the choice back at her, saying, I do not care, what do you want to do? This reveals a lack of direction, a fear of leadership. A Stoic man understands that leadership is not about domination, but about care and stewardship. Marcus Aurelius taught that we must act with a sense of duty and order. When she offers to follow your lead, she is inviting you to demonstrate that you are a man of order, someone who can make decisions with clarity, consideration, and confidence. She wants to feel the security of your direction. But here is where many men become confused. They mistake an interest in their life's order for mere superficiality. For instance, when a woman inquires deeply about your daily routines, your ambitions, your discipline, or how you manage your resources, it is easy to assume she is conducting a cold, material audit. While some may indeed seek material security, a discerning woman is looking for something far more valuable, your level of self-mastery. She wants to know if you are the master of your desires or their slave. She is asking herself if you have built a life of discipline, focus, and purpose. Seneca warned that no man is free who is a slave to his body or his passions. If she sees that your life is chaotic, that you possess no self-control, and that you are easily distracted by every passing pleasure, she will recognize that you cannot offer her a safe emotional harbor. Your stability is your greatest ornament. When you show her that your mind is disciplined and your path is clear, she feels an instinctive desire to walk that path alongside you. As the emotional bond deepens, the physical distance between you begins to feel like an unnatural state of affairs. She will start to vocalize this longing. In the quiet hours of the evening, she might send a message saying, "I wish I were there with you tonight." This is one of the most direct expressions of desire a woman can offer. It is an admission of lack. It means that in her moments of quiet solitude, when the noise of the world fades away, your absence is felt. She is consciously choosing to share her vulnerability with you, letting you know that her peace would be more complete in your presence. Seneca wrote that we should live as if we were in public view, and think as if our most secret thoughts were open to all. When she shares this thought with you, she is opening a window into her private inner world. It is a sacred invitation. It requires a response that is warm, appreciative, and entirely free of games. To receive such an invitation and respond with cold indifference is a failure of empathy. To respond with desperate pleading is a failure of self-possession. The Stoic response is one of warm alignment, acknowledging the beauty of the connection and making plans to cultivate it. Finally, we arrive at the most intimate signal of all, one that requires the highest level of trust. She might say, "I wish you could see me right now." This is not merely about physical appearance. This is a desire to be truly seen, stripped of the armor, the makeup, the social masks, and the expectations of the external world. It is an invitation to witness her in her raw, authentic state of being. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote that we must strip away the outward show of things and behold their lack of utility, to see them as they truly are. When a woman makes this statement, she is offering to strip away her own outward show for you. She is asking for a gaze that is appreciative, respectful, and deeply present. She wants to know that you see her not as an object to be possessed, but as a soul to be cherished. If you can meet this level of vulnerability with deep, unhurried presence, you build a bond that is unbreakable. These 7 signals are not manipulative tactics. They are the natural, beautiful expressions of a human soul seeking connection, safety, and mutual respect. They are invitations to step out of the chaotic noise of the world and into a space of shared truth. But you can only recognize them if you have cultivated the quiet mind of a Stoic. If you have spent your life chasing validation, reacting to every fleeting emotion, and viewing relationships as a series of games to be won or lost, you will remain blind to this silent language. You will see challenges where there are invitations, and you will see transactions where there is a genuine desire for vulnerability. The path of Stoicism is not about becoming cold, unfeeling, or distant. It is about developing such a profound degree of self-mastery, presence, and emotional clarity that you become a sanctuary for others. When you master your own mind, you naturally cultivate a presence that is calm, reassuring, and magnetic. You no longer need to chase connection because your character naturally invites it. You become the man who can listen to the silence, who can read the unspoken, and who can honor the trust that is placed in him. If you found value in this reflection, consider subscribing to the channel and sharing this video with someone who is searching for a deeper understanding of human connection. Leave a comment below sharing your thoughts on how presence changes the way we communicate. Until next time, stay present, keep cultivating your inner fortress, and never stop striving for the self-mastery that makes you a man of true character.